there, this is your Everyday Moodlings host, Jury Parks, and we have a new Tuesday challenge for you. I will apologize real quickly, my voice is a little froggy. I had a lot of pollen in the air lately, so sorry if it's a little scratchy and quirky today. This challenge, for this week, our challenge is to use maybe a color combination that you normally wouldn't gravitate to, something a little different. So I wanted to share with you one of my tools that I use for finding color combinations, because it's really easy to get stuck in a rut and use the same colors over and over and over again. And so sometimes I like to kind of push myself or just think about it in a different way, find different inspiration. I will have some links in the blog post that will give you some different options for finding color combinations, but one of my favorite options for color combinations is actually paint and home decor books. This is actually a paint book. I think I probably bought this at Lowe's or something like that. You can actually go to Lowe's and Home Depot and Sherwin-Williams and pick up color combination cards as well, so you can make like your own little booklet. I've had this for years, and it has in it different color combinations throughout here. And sometimes they just put together colors that I wouldn't quite think of. Like I would put purple and green together, but not necessarily the salmon color. So it kind of pushes me a little bit. They also, many of the same companies have online resources to help you pick colors for your homes, and those are some really good options for picking colors for your work as well. So we're going to use the book today to pick our color combination, and I just wanted to kind of go over what else we were going to be using. I started out with this piece of paper. This is a Prima piece of paper. It's kind of busy, but I wanted to match something up to this kind of blue-green color here. So I went to the book and I found a matching blue-green color. And then what colors did it say to put with it? So I have a darker teal, monochromatic kind of look there, and a chocolate brown. So that's what I picked out. Now this is pretty subdued. They have brights and bolds, they have pastels in here, they have earth tones. Really a good combination of colors. So you can find books like this in most any home improvement store, or obviously online as well. So then I decided, well, I wanted to use some chocolate brown paper, but I didn't necessarily want to use teal paper on top of that. So to incorporate the teal paper, I'm actually using a teal water-soluble oil pastel. This is Prima. This is the Prima set. Let me get the box for you. It comes in 24 colors, and it is highly water soluble, more so than like gelatos, which doesn't release quite as nicely. I also pulled out the dark brown, or the chocolate brown. This one actually says cobalt green on it, but I tested it and it's pretty much teal. So I don't know where they came up with their names sometimes. I'm also using a bird stamp. This is the Dino Wakely birds. I love this set. It's so fun. So we're using a bird stamp. I have a little sentiment I already printed out. And I'm also going to be using some Prima, I'm on a Prima kick here today, watercolor paper. This watercolor paper, actually you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but oh, maybe you can kind of pick it up. This watercolor paper is embossed, clear embossed on some of the sheets, so that the image will show up after you add color to it. And then it's got a matching page that is black, and that's what I'm going to stamp my bird onto, and then we're going to color it with the teal oil pastel. So the other thing I've done already, so I had my card, I cut it out, and I decided I wanted to use one of the Tim Holtz mixed media dyes to kind of show some of the brown throughs to incorporate that chocolate brown, and we're going to incorporate it in other ways as well as we go along here. And I've already sized it up and adhered it down. You do notice that it is upside down. That is on purpose, actually. One, I wanted this teal flower to be up in this corner, so I didn't cover it up with the bird. And I wanted my sentiment to kind of stand out, and I felt like if the words were right side up too, they might kind of get mixed in with the sentiment, and I didn't want that. They might challenge it a little bit. So remember, when you look at your paper, don't think, well, it has to go this way because otherwise it's all upside down. You know, just kind of go with whatever works for you and the piece that you're trying to create. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the music on as we go ahead and create this piece. If I need to along the way, I'll stop back in, I'll turn the music off and let you know what I'm doing. But we're going to start out by coloring our bird. Bird color, and I am going to obviously cut that out before we add it to our ATC, but now you can see the text has shown up on the bird, and it's real subtle. It's really pretty. So, but I wanted to talk about using these dry also. So I'm going to do a little edging, brown edging on my ATC. Everybody knows I love to edge things. Now I could blend this with water, but I want to keep a more intense look, so that means I'm going to blend it dry. Now you can do this with your fingers, but I have some arthritis in my fingers and sometimes that kind of bothers me, or I can't push as hard as I would like, so I'm actually using an ink dauber. I keep a set of ink daubers that I use specifically for water soluble crayons, because they are kind of waxy. I don't really want to mix them in with my ink daubers, or the ink daubers I use for ink. But this allows me to add more pressure and blend it a little bit easier. So I wanted to share that tip with you, just in case you have the same problem. There are some options to be able to blend them and not have to hurt your fingers. ATC done. A couple of quick notes. Yes, I did have to cut off the wing and the tail feathers so it will fit on my project inspiration wall, which is a bunch of ATC holders. So it looks really weird now, but once it's inside that frame of the ATC card, it'll look fine. Normally I would just, like if I was doing a tag, I would just run it right off the edge and not worry about it. But I need it to fit within a certain opening. I'm probably still going to use a little dimensional adhesive to the eye. I tried to put a dewdrop on there and it just looked weird. So, but I want to highlight the eye just a little bit to give it some dimension. So that's it. That's our ATC for this week. Used a lot of different products. Now, I do often like blue and dark brown together. I like that color combination, but I often forget all the different options out there. So sometimes I'm looking for inspiration. So our challenge this week was to look someplace other than, you know, craft or art books or boards or blogs or Pinterest to find some inspiration for color combinations, and a great place to do that is home decor. So if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be links to the blog where you can get more information about this ATC and links to some other tools to use to pick colors. If you have any questions about anything I did here, please be sure to let me know. I'm always happy to help. Until next week, I'm your host, Jury Parks with Everyday Moodlings.